Thank you. That was nice introduction, which I didn't understand anything. Okay, I'm David from Czech Republic. I mluvím trošku po slovensky, I am Slovak, I speak Czech, mluví trocha po polsky, rozumím, but I know shit Hungarian. I know 2 words from last night, ereš pišta, palinka. So now I know everything. Anyway, I'm David. I'm helping Amazon sellers, that's what I do, and I'm also very interested in marketplaces. And I'm just gonna give you very straightforward look on what's going on, okay? Maybe trends, maybe just like look in the future. You may not, agree with me, then we can, have a discussion on the coffee. But I'm just gonna give you what I learned in the last 8 years. I got the privilege to speak twice. It's probably because I'm so handsome, or I don't know, or organizers just like me. So I decided to make it 2 parts. So you need to come again. So right now, I'm gonna give you what may happen in the future. And at 1, I'm gonna give you what you should or shouldn't do. Now, I'm here for this. I'm from Czech Republic, and I started 2017 helping Amazon brands, which I do right now as well. Marketplaces in my country were totally irrelevant. In 2020, Alza, the biggest retailer here and in Czech Republic obviously too, decided, we're gonna be platform too. But the platform was still super irrelevant. Last year, by the time Alza said, okay, no more platforms, last year numbers, 15 to 20% are marketplaces in my country. We were wrong that it's gonna be locals. They're not locals, it's all by, companies from China, which we all like, and Amazon, some of the Amazon, and a little bit of Allegro. But this, if it's not happening right now in Hungary, it's gonna happen in Hungary next year, next 2 years. You'll be in the same trajectory. Some big part of the market is gonna be marketplace, if it's not right now. If we define the terms for the moment, marketplace, it's a platform, more sellers, the platform is the seller, doesn't need to be, but sometimes is, and you see who you're buying from. That's the big distinction, because there are so many different B2B, dropship, whatever called marketplaces. Like Alza, you buy from Alza, it's a marketplace. So, let's look at the market. People say 2/3 worldwide are marketplaces, which means out of 10 orders, 6 or 7 are platforms. That's true, but it's driven by China and US. A bit irrelevant for us. In Europe, it's something like 50%, which means every second order is platform. But it's a bit tricky, because if you look at Europe, okay, half is DTC, direct to customers, you and me, direct brands, right? But then the platform business is actually split in half. Half is what platforms are selling as the retail, and half is what we sell as the sellers. So if you take EMAG, which is here, if I should guess, it's like 40% retail and 60% third party. But EMAG, we call it marketplace. So it goes to the 50%. So to be super honest, the marketplaces are a bit overhyped in Europe, so it's not 50, it's 25. It's still big, right? But just to be sure. By the way, the number of first party, what the marketplace is selling, is shrinking down. They don't want to do that. They don't want to move packages. They want to selling fees and advertisement money, because it's much higher margin. Amazon have earning calls tomorrow, you will see. The first party business, if it's flat, it's success. And they're going to report super high profits on the third party. So you can buy some shares of Amazon. It's still time. Okay, Europeans buy for like 800 billion euros. It's maybe a little bit less, but doesn't matter right now. 1/3 of it is cross-border. What means cross-border? You buy from shop in Poland, Romania, Czech Republic, not in your country, right? European e-commerce grew by 6% on average. In Czech it's 6%. In Germany it's 2%, right? On average, let's say it's 6%, but the cross-border is 1/3. The cross-border grew by 100 billion in 1 year. So just the cross-border part is actually responsible for all the growth. And the local is, if it's not the same, it's going down. And I think I don't need to prove it. If you have a web store, like last few years were pretty rough, right? It wasn't that easy as it used to be. So you know it pretty well. If we say that the 50% of European e-commerce are platforms, and we just say, okay, it's 25 and 25, but doesn't matter, the cross-border is 70 by platforms. So the growth is only by the cross-borders, and the cross-borders are dominantly marketplaces. These are the web stores in the world which do the most cross-border, and they are all platforms, right? So the platform business is actually better, bigger the region is. That's why locally it doesn't make sense much. Globally, it makes all sense in the world. Just quick look in the future. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but look at those last four. They belong to one person. I think the founder was kicked out of some fast food chain that he's incompetent, and then he built Alibaba, so it's a bit motivation for all of us. Anyway, let's look at the players. Who plays on the market and how? Do you know this guy? Ladies are like, yeah. Okay, this guy is called Michael Phelps. He's the best Olympian ever lived. If you look at the ratings of the gold medalists in the world, there are few people on planet with 8 gold medals, like Usain Bolt. And then there is a huge gap, and then there is Michael Phelps with 28 gold medals. So there's 28, Michael Phelps, bam, gap, and 8, 7, 6, and those are legends as well, but the Michael Phelps is like, oh, it's my game. Michael Phelps in the marketplace game is, no surprise, Amazon. If you like memes, it looks like this. So the Amazon is the jacked one, and the other are puppies. The puppies are still fine. We love them all, right? But if we compare all the statistics, it's like 2 different universes. It's 2 different games. I'm going to talk about it at one, like why and where should you pick what. But for now, we're good with puppies. If you look at the numbers, it looks like this. And I'm sorry, Amazon is like too big. It's not 200. I make a mistake. It's like 150, but okay, who cares? It's still big. Amazon is the biggest one. Those are the GMV in Europe, which means for how much the marketplaces sells to Europeans. You can see it. It doesn't mean that those all other marketplaces are relevant. Of course not. It's just on the European scale, it looks like this. And the biggest reason for it, most of those other local guys, they're just in one country or dominantly in one country. And if you have a feeling that, oh, eBay is closing Amazon, no, it's not. When I started, it was like, not flat, not like the same, but very much closer than they are right now, and eBay is going down. But that's story for another day. Okay, Amazon is dominant, but not everywhere. If you look at Poland, where they expand to 21, I believe, they are not even close to the biggest. So Amazon is not doing that well. Well, they're not pushing to be the best, to should be the first at all costs. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. They're looking for profit. Last month, they announced expansion to Ireland because they already have infrastructure, customers, a lot of cross-border from UK. So they can launch it, like no problem. The same with like Poland. They are not even close to Allegro, and they're not trying to be the best. Not like they try, but with low cost. Same in Netherlands. Kinda organically number 2. By the way, that's why Bol trying to go cross-border, because they see this. Like, okay, Bol is great at Netherlands and Belgium, but, you know, there are other players coming in, and they organically, with the global brand, adjust with the scale. They just launch it, and they know they're going to be second. And that's a big problem for them. Okay, and now let's talk about the most important is who's buying, buyers. First of all, they don't care. They don't care. I remember the reviews when Allegro came to Czech Republic, and the first sellers, they make a huge number of errors from Poland. They maybe don't even know that they like have products live in Czech Republic, and packages were lost and did not ship and so on, and people were like writing these horrible reviews, and the defense was like, okay, but it's individual sellers. The customers don't give a shit about that. It's like, I buy from you, you're responsible. That's what Alza get, and that's why they close the marketplace and do just retail. But on a large scale, you can do it. But if you decided, I hate marketplaces, I don't want to go against them, this is the BCG survey of the customers. On the left side, there's like what customers rank important. Delivery, price, loyalty, customer support, and so on. I'm going to send you the presentation afterwards, so you will have it. And then what they prioritize, the marketplace or e-commerce is web store in this survey. And you can see that the web stores surpass marketplaces in loyalty, customer support, and the premium products. Everything else you're going to buy on marketplaces. Like, it's from Western Europe, right? So the delivery, it's heavily affected by Amazon FBA. In like our context, there's no service like that. However, so if you plan to go against them, you hate them, you don't want to join them, just play the game correctly, properly. Okay, let's be more scientific. There's this worldly known method of Bezos-David wheel. Bezos is the Jeff Bezos, and David, it's me. Okay, in fact, I just took his idea and write it over here. But there are 4 things that the marketplaces need. Good prices, selection of products, and more selection, better prices, delivery, and brand, trust, safety, whatever you call it. You can test yourself. Would you buy Apple products on Temu? Of course not. And what Temu needs to do to force you to buy the Apple products? Like 5 years, no scandal, almost impossible. That's the trust. Usually the platform, when it enters the market, attack the left side. We hire new sellers. We have a global competition, so we have more of it, better prices. That's kind of easy. I call it easy, of course not easy, but that's like the first step. We have a lot of it, and we are cheap. Temu conquered the world with us, and with avoiding the taxes, but that's another story. Locally, the much more difficult part is another part. How are we going to deliver that? And how are we going to assure that the quality remains? Because we have 5 million sellers, and they can like fake it or, whatever. It's just a human, so they're going to cheat. And how are we going to deliver that? Again, Alza's story. Alza said, we don't want to be this. We want to be this. Locally makes sense. Globally, they can do it. So if you're going against marketplaces locally, this is your game. This is game. By the way, why Amazon is so successful? Solved all of it. Now, let's look at for one trend, which you will see probably in a few years rising up, and that's B2B commerce. Your business buying from another business. Your HR is buying something for printer, something for toilet. It's just what you need. Simple things like that, up to you buy some heavy machinery, which is probably not for e-commerce, but can be. The B2B commerce is 4 times bigger than B2C, and no one talks about that, because the B2B is still like old school business a lot. How many companies that are super old school and writing on a paper? I know a few, but I don't know any people who don't shop on the internet, right? So the B2C is much more ahead, but it's smaller. And it grows much faster, the B2B part. That's why all the Alza business, Allegro business, Amazon business, all the marketplaces will launch in some shape or form business content. Because the business customer is very similar to the normal customer. They just shop more of it, some specific products, they need to buy without taxes, one invoice, but in the end, it's the same customer. Biggest B2B seller in my country is Alza, because they solve it. In all other countries, it's Amazon business. If you're selling B2B, there are hundreds of B2B marketplaces. I know like few. I don't even know those guys, and they're super huge. You will have the presentation so you can get inspired, but the business B2B commerce, it's gonna be super relevant in the future. And the marketplaces know it, and they will go a little bit after that. Now, let's talk about the three forces, like the fantasy story, three forces in Europe. What's affecting you the most and what will affect you the most? China is no more the factory, and I stole it from Kausas from Marketplace Pools. He wrote the concept of, okay, early 2000s, we sourced everything to China to do it for us. Then they understood how to sell, so 50% of Amazon sellers are Chinese. Second biggest cohort of Kaufland sellers are Chinese. I would guess on Allegro it's going to be pretty much the same. So they know how to sell. And now they know how to promote. Shein, TikTok Shop, Temu obviously, they're coming for the customers. So we outsource the heavy lifting, then they start to sell, and now they have the platforms. It looks like Donald Trump ended the platform in 2 days, and we're debating it for 2028, but that's another story. So they learn, and now we need to face it. Second biggest force, gonna be the Amazon. It's gonna remain the best until, I don't know, Jeff Bezos will populate universe or whatever he's doing. And it's because they solved everything in many countries, right? They have every of the four. They deliver fast because of FBA, they have the trust, they have a price and selection obviously, and they have it in many countries. The biggest force of Amazon are Prime subscription customers. They pay monthly to not only have the free delivery, but the Prime Video and Audible and Kindle and Twitch Prime and whatever. And in Europe, there are 60 to 70 million doing that. Worldwide, it's triple or quarter or 4 times more. This is no one actually built a better subscription program in the world than Amazon, and it's going to remain. So if your brand have potential, and I'm going to talk about it at 1 p.m., who should go on Amazon, who shouldn't, then Amazon is actually the best place. And you can bet it's going to be the best place in the next few years. And the third, free platforms tried to bribe me yesterday to mention them, so I put all of them there. And they owe me now 100 euros each. No, just joking, of course. The funny part about this is, every single week you hear about a new retailer converting it to the platform, new retailer expanding to other country. The locals, they see that the local is going now. They need to be global. Bol, Netherlands, they're going to be big in Netherlands, but they can't double in Netherlands. Allegro in Poland, going to be big, can't double, or can, but in many, many years, in Poland. Kaufland in Germany, Scrooge in Greece. Everyone needs to go outside their borders. There's also the trend that, because it's technically much easier than it used to be to launch the marketplace. So now if you look at every single country on top 5 in every category, there is a huge chance that they're going to have a marketplace in some shape or form. And now the race is, they're going, upside down, everyone in a single country, which is very good for you as a seller, because you have plenty place to join. I helped one Amazon seller from US. I manage the Amazon store. You know what options we have in US outside their Shopify store? Amazon. That's all we have. Because, yeah, there's Target and Walmart, but it's like 5% of Amazon, not worth doing. In Europe, fortunately, you have so many options. And there's not going to be one Amazon in this region. It's too late for that. There's going to be plenty of them. Very good for you. You have some integrators there so you can connect it and play till the end of the world. There are 400 marketplaces only in German-speaking countries. So you cannot run by the options. Okay, here is the summary, what I tried to say. The growth is by cross-border. The marketplaces are the cross-border. The expansion of Temu is actually if they go to the right side of the cross. That's why they're building so many facilities in Europe. But what the Asian platforms never solved was how to get the trust. AliExpress do the free selection price, then they build facilities, but still you don't trust them, right? You don't buy on AliExpress branded shit. You just buy them, some small stuff. Temu is heavily investing into that. If they solve it, if you're gonna join them and Western brand's gonna join them, they're gonna win. I got a story because we have some time. I was on a conference in Germany and there was like, Temu is gonna be on stage. So like the full ones gather up. Everyone wants to hear that. And before the speech, the organizers came in and say, unfortunately, there's gonna be no Temu because I remind them there's gonna be questions after the speech. They decided to not participate because of the questions. And everybody was like, oh, I see. They can disappear in China. So that's what the Temu is all about. The adoption of the marketplace system, every single like Bauhaus, all the like DIY guys in Germany, like top 5, all of them are going marketplace. Of course, they're not giving up on the standard business, but they transforming into marketplace in some shape or form. And Amazon, obviously, still remains the king, still remains the Michael Phelps. And it's the same analogy because like how many years you need to go beat Michael Phelps? If you compete in the same sport where you can have like 5 gold medals in one category, you need like 20 years, right? That's the same. Okay, the stories and what you should do continue at 1 here. And if you have any questions for me, we can do it now. Here's my email, here's my LinkedIn. I post here and there about marketplaces. And I also have one challenge for you. If there's any Hungarian brand who wants to go west and is willing to talk about it, I'm looking for one brand which I will take on a public case study. I will help you to conquer Amazon and we will publish all the numbers next year here. So now organizers need to do the next year because we need to publish it. But if you have a brand, you want to go west, I'm going to help you, but you need to be okay with publishing all the numbers. No bullshit around. We can talk about it in the lobby. Hope you enjoyed it. We still have some time, so if you have any questions, I can pass you the microphone, you can ask, or just stop me anywhere and we can talk about it. Cool. Thank you very much.